Hello comrades, CommissarBRO here today with the second episode of our realistic Djibouti, that's right. Now I kinda played a little bit ahead, it is definitely 2030, and I definitely might have been a naughty little Djibouti, yes. I went and took over Papua New Guinea. You know, our economy just wasn't doing very well. And with the way the Realism 2016 mod is set up, to be honest, I'm not exactly used to this system. That's right. Now, the boat that I used to travel over here has been completely destroyed. So, so most of my army is unfortunately stuck at Papua New Guinea. Now, I could use the whole Antarctica glitch thingy, but I'm trying to avoid that. You know, I don't want to be a dirty little cheater, as far as it's concerned. Now, as you can see, realistically, Djibouti's economy has grown significantly. However, we've taken on a massive amount of debt in doing so. So, the budget sliders have been tanked down rather ludicrously to help pay off some of this debt. Because as you can see, we're paying 190 million right now to get rid of that. And 190 million is just 190 million too many. So, yeah. So, let's talk about the Realism 2016 mod. For those of you who've gotten more in-depth with modding and whatnot over, you know, the past couple of years since I first started doing this whole series, Basic Vanilla Superpower 2 is much easier than, you know, a lot of the Realism mods that have come out, like the Uberfox mod or Mr. Monday's mod, and so on and so forth. Now, a lot of these mods work to overhaul the economic systems in the game. And essentially, by overhauling it, it's an attempt to make the game harder. And trust me, it succeeds at that, especially with these poorer nations. It takes a lot more time to build them up and get them more economically sound. I mean, it takes a long time. So, you know, pre-planning early on is kind of the key to victory. And let's say, abundant expansion is sometimes not the best way to go. In this case, with Djibouti, though, you're stuck in a very poor starting position. Not only are you surrounded by people who are friendly with the rest of the world, but you're surrounded by people who are pretty damn poor as well. So it's not a very good situation. And with the constant wars that are going on, any units that would be on the, you know, the game's pretty much unit market where you can just buy troops straight from any country you want, unfortunately, there's no units to buy. Aside from, like I said, that destroyer I bought, which quickly was blown to smithereens. And, yeah, like, I basically just took over the country with a bunch of mobile launchers. Yeah. But aside from that, and I mean, you can even see this is my unit army size. It's small. But Papua New Guinea was practically defenseless. And I mean, if we look at the military strength of most of the countries in the game, most of them are not packing serious heat, but they're packing enough heat that it's practically impossible, if you don't buy troops early on in the game, to actually beat anybody. So, yeah, we're pretty much in a situation right now where there's not really anything we can do. I've put a little bit of money into research so that we can actually at least try to get Tier 1 stuff, but another thing that these mods do is they make it a ridiculous amount of time for you to research anything. Like, look at that. You're telling me, I want to make this clear though. This is where mods like this kind of irk me a bit, just a bit. You're telling me it's going to take me 20 years, and I've already been researching for a couple years. It's roughly 7,000 days. Roughly what, 20 years? It's about. So it's going to take me 20 years to have World War I era tank technology? Meh, I find that kind of hard to believe. But that's just me. That's just me. Like, I get in the later part, like the later portions of the game, you know, when your research is at about, you know, 5 or 6 bars, I could get why you would need some serious funding to be able to research that technology. But again, I find it hard, very hard to believe that with a $25 million budget, let me look, so I know I'm not crazy, yeah, a $25 million budget, it's going to take us 20 years just to be able to have a working, basic World War I era tank prototype. I find that impossibly hard to believe. But again, that's just me. So, in the whole, we are where we are, and there's not really a whole bunch we can do. We can let our relations with the other countries of the world normalize. We can slowly, very slowly, pay off our debt. As you can see, we're basically paying it off. This is how much we're making a year, essentially. So that's how much we're paying off in a year. Now, our resources are growing quite considerably. We're doing way better than we were before. Like, honestly, we really are. By taking over Papua New Guinea, we've pretty much ensured that Djibouti will survive. But there's not a whole lot we're going to be able to do past that. Until we get the appropriate research and technology needed to be a successful country, we're kind of just, you know, boned. So yeah, we pretty much just got to pay this off, and once we pay that off, you know, we'll be able to get the forces that we need. And wow, I just did I seriously just double? Oh, okay, there we go. Took off. All right, so it might only take us about 15 years now. All right, that's not as bad. And then we could even just tank air, because I mean, who needs air anyway? And just put most of our funding in naval technologies and ground technologies. Because I really don't care about the Air Force. 4,000 days. That's not that bad. It's like, what, 12 years, almost 13 years? I don't know, it's something like that. It's better than what we were looking at before, that's for sure. So yeah, there we go. We're gonna get that. It's just gonna take forever. It's gonna take so long, man. It's gonna be so long. Like, we got time for that. Let's see. Advisor warning politics. You have a good chance of being reelected. Oh, that's just beautiful. Beautiful. God, man, we really need to pay that debt off. That is just horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. And what are we paying in diplomacy that's taking up 186 million? That's just redunculous. We need foreign aid again. The problem is, no one fucking likes us. And now that we have more money, it's going to be harder to get foreign aid out of people. That's definitely what we need. What I was going to try was to step in and take over Ukraine, because look, Ukraine has no army anymore. The problem is, everyone would declare war on me, and that's something I can hardly afford. I was already declared war on by Australia and the Philippines and Taiwan and 4 other countries when I went to war with Papua New Guinea, but thankfully, none of those countries decided to get involved. So that worked out nicely for us. Yeah, it did. It did. So, well, there's really not much we can do. We pretty much have to sit here and wait. That's about all we can do, is just sit here and wait. So, I'm going to do the waiting for you guys. That's right. Episode 2 is basically just me explaining that I did stuff while you guys weren't looking, and that I'm going to do more stuff while you guys aren't looking. That's right. Because it takes so much longer. It's like these realism mods, like everything just takes longer if you're a small country. It'll be like 2,300 before I can accomplish anything, but whatever. I guess that is what it is. I can't wait to bring war against the Islamic State. That's right. We're gonna fuck their face. It's going to be so brutal. What do they own? They own that. They're in Yemen. They own that. They own that. Wait, is that? So that's Boko Haram. Then I would imagine the Islamic State there. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, like I was saying, we're gonna fuck their face, and it's gonna be totally brutal. We actually have a bigger army than them. Not a bigger land army, or not a bigger soldier army, or even an air force. But we have a bigger land army, and that's all that matters. Yeah, that's right. Technically, our air force isn't much weaker than theirs either. Look at that. They're They're 141, and we're 142. It's probably because I actually have attack aircraft. I don't know what they're packing, but I definitely have me some attack aircraft. So yeah. Our overall goal in this, as far as I'm concerned, is spreading the amusement parks to the Islamic State, showing them the true power of amusement parks and roller coasters. That's right. We will have no shame, and we will slaughter all who say anything less about our delectable, delicious, amazing, auspicious roller coasters and amusement parks. That's right. Yes, we'll see who the true power in this world is. But anyway, this has been CommissarBRO, and I'm just gonna pass some time and let things happen. I'll see you guys next time.
I already saw you talking that shit, bro. Don't be giving me that smug, innocent look. I already saw you with your mouth wide open, spitting that poopy. Turn around now, and I bet I'll do it again. That's what I fucking thought. Caught him red-handed. Hand in the cookie jar. Don't you ever be talking that poopy behind my ass. What are you